everyone, I am Therese May Dumala, and our topic for today is all about the Presidential Decree 1586 Environmental Impact Statement or EIS Statement of 1978. So let us go to the background or history of the law. Presidential Decree 1586, otherwise known as Philippine Environmental Impact System 1978. Here in the Philippines, we have Environmental Impact Statement System under Presidential Decree 1586, which was ratified on June 11, 1978. PD 1586 is a planning and a management tool to determine environmental impacts and means to mitigate them. It aims to protect the environment despite the increasing demand of natural resources and development to attain sustainability. It contains 12 sections, and it was signed by our late President Ferdinand E. Marcos. So, the Presidential Decree 1586 or tinatawag nating Philippine Environmental Impact Statement System ay isa sa mga sistema ng batas na concerned sa pag-assess ng direct and indirect impacts ng isang project sa ating surroundings, environments, and sa ating nearby communities. Ina-identify din ng PD 1586 yung mga environmental critical area o yung mga lugar na hindi pa po dapat natin pagtayuan o mag-operate ng isang project. Ina-identify din ng PD 1586 yung mga environmentally critical project o mga projects po na bago tayo mag-operate ay dapat mag-secure muna ng Environmental Compliance Certificate. So ano nga ba yung Environmental Compliance Certificate? So, it is a document issued by the Department of Environment and Natural Resources, or DENR, certifying that the project has complied with the EIS system and has committed to implement its approved environmental management plan to address the environmental impact. So, but before that, I just want to share with you guys the most important section of this act, which is the Section 4. So, the state shall protect and advance the right of the people to a balanced and healthful ecology in accord with rhythm and harmony of nature. So, totoo yung sinasabi niya. So, the Section 4, it is clearly said that no person, partnership, or corporation shall undertake or operate any such declared environmentally critical project or area without first securing an environmental compliance certificate. So, sinasabi sa batas na bago mag-open ng isang project ay dapat mag-secure muna ng Environmental Compliance Certificate. Yan ang isa sa mga napaka-importanting gawin bago muna gumawa ng aksyon. And aside from that, if it's truly about our environment, magkukumply tayo niyan. Hindi natin maatay na gumawa ng isang project, lalo na sa mga environmentalist o yung mga may care about sa environment. So, the Section 4 said that all persons, corporations are all required to secure an ECC before undertaking any environmentally critical project or operate in an environmentally critical area. So let us go to the salient features of the act. Number 1 is policy. Declares as a state policy to attain and maintain a rational and orderly balance between socio-economic growth and environmental protection. Number 2 is the EIS system, that all agencies and instrumentalities of the national government, including government-owned and controlled corporations, firms, and entities to undertake an EIA for all proposed projects and undertakings which significantly affect the quality of the environment. Declares environmental critical projects and areas and to secure Environmental Compliance Certificate or ECC before commencing or undertaking project. So, it talks about the ECC. Na bago gumawa ng project, kailangan talagang magkuha or mag-secure ng ECC para ma-maintain ang environment natin. Number 3 is the penalty provisions. Fines and or penalties for every violation of conditions stipulated in the ECC and commencing projects without ECC. So, since PD 15 1586 is a law, malinaw na magkakaroon ng penalty ang isang corporation or ang business if di siya nag-comply ng isang dokumento. Ayon sa batas, pwede siyang magkamulta ng not to exceed 50,000 pesos sa paglabag ng PD 1586. And violations will also be punishable by imprisonment ranging 1 to 5 years. So, there are 12 categories of environmentally critical areas. We have number 1, areas declared by law as natural parks, watershed, reserves, wildlife reserves, and sanctuaries. Areas set aside as aesthetic potential tourist spot, which is the mga beach resort. And number 3, areas which constitute the habitat for any endangered or threatened species of indigenous Philippine wildlife, flora, and fauna. Areas of unique historical, archaeological, geological, or scientific interests. 5. Areas which are traditionally occupied by cultural communities or tribes. So, tahanan daw ng mga indigenous people. It is also considered as environmentally critical area. Number 6. Areas frequently visited and or hit by natural calamities, geologic hazards, floods, typhoons, and volcanic activity. So, kung pagbabasihan natin ang kategory na ito, masasabi natin na ang buong Pilipinas talaga naging bisita na ang mga bagyo, ang mga volcanic activity, at minsan na rin, kasi mostly yung country natin is laging nadadaanan ng mga natural na kalamidad. So, kung mapapansin nyo sa balita, konti na lang yung lugar na hindi nabibisitahan ng mga natural calamities. Number 7, areas of critical slope. 8 is areas classified as prime agricultural lands, yung mga sakahan. Di dapat siya pagtayuan di dapat mag-operate ng subdivision. Number 9, recharge areas of aquifers, considered na rin siya as environmentally critical area. Water bodies, mangrove areas, yung mga bakawan. Yung kung makikita mo sa mga balita is yung nakalutang is mga sanitary napkins, mga diapers, pero habang tumatagal yung panahon, mga katawan na ng taong nakasalvage. Number 12, coral reefs. Alam nyo ba na kapag walang PD 1586, surely masisira ang ating kapaligiran at ating kalikasan. Specifically, kapag walang PD 1586, ay di po natin mababantayan ang mga projects o yung mga businesses di natin malalaman na nagkakos na sila ng mga negative impact sa ating environment. Just like for example, yung mga piggery farms, nakakasira siya sa for example sa health ng mga tao, pati na rin sa nagdadala na rin ng mabahong hangin. Yung mga poultry farms and yung mga manufacturing plants. And then and aside from that, let us go to the strength of the act, which is the section 9. Penalty for violation: that any person, corporation, or partnership found violating section 4 of this decree or the terms and conditions in the issuance of the environmental compliance certificate or of the standards, rules, and regulations issued by the National Environmental Protection Council pursuant to this decree shall be punished by the suspension or cancellation of its certificate or a fine in an amount not to exceed 50,000 pesos, not for every violation thereof, at the discretion of the National Environmental Protection Council. Dahil sa act na to, magkakaroon tayo ng mas healthy na kapaligiran, as well as magkakaroon ng magkakaroon ng healthy lifestyle yung mga tao, kasi hindi maaapektuhan yung mga health nila. And let us proceed to the weakness of the act. For me, ginawa ang act na to strengthen the right of the environment. And ang nakikita ko sa act na to, yung weakness niya is 50,000 lang yung penalty, which is yung kung magkakaroon ng negative impact sa environment is magiging forever na yung impact, mapapasa na yun sa next generation natin. So, at 1 to 5 years lang yung pagiging imprisonment nila. Pero, kung wala ang act na to, it will surely be destroyed by people who keep on doing such negative things towards the environment.
So this is the continuation. Opportunities of the Act. This law has a great opportunities that this law was created because it will give us protection and especially into our environment. Section 7, Management and Financial Assistance. The Ministry of Human Settlements is hereby authorized to provide management and financial support to government offices and instrumentalities placed under its supervision pursuant to this decree financed from its existing appropriation from budgetary augmentation as the Minister of Human Settlements may deem necessary. Section 8, Rules and Regulations. The National Environmental Protection Council shall issue the necessary rules regulation to implement this decree. Section 9, Penalty for Violation. Any person, corporate, or partnership found violating Section 4 of this decree or the terms and conditions in the issuance of the Environmental Compliance Certificate or of the standards, rules, and regulations issued by the National Environmental Protection Council pursuant to this decree shall be punished the suspension or cancellation of his or its certificate and or a fine in amount not to exceed 50,000 pesos for every violation thereof at the discretion of the National Environmental Protection Council. Section 10, Environmental Revolving Fund. Proceeds from the penalties prescribed in the proceedings, Section 9, and other penalties imposed by the National Pollution Control Commission as authorized in Presidential Decree 984 shall be automatically appropriated into an environmental revolving fund hereby created as an exemption to Presidential Decree 711 and Presidential Decree 1234. The fund shall be used exclusively for the operation of the National Environmental Protection Council and the National Pollution Control Commission and the implementation of this decree. The rules and regulations for the utilization of this fund shall be formulated by the Ministry of Human Settlements and submitted to the President for approval. Section 11, Repealing Clause. The Interagency Advisory Council of the National Pollution Control Commission created under Section 4 of Presidential Decree 984 is hereby abolished, and its powers and responsibilities are delegated and transferred to the National Environmental Protection Councils. All laws, decrees, executive orders, rules and regulations inconsistent herewith are hereby repealed, amended, or modified accordingly. Section 12, Effective Clause. This decree shall take effect immediately. So, this section, it helps the opportunities, kaning mo ni siya ang mga kuan nga kinahanglan gyud sundon nato nung mga kuan aron dili ta makahatag og violation. So next is problem with the act implementation in the Philippines. So ang problem, so in making a law, it should be need to submit first to the Senate and also to the President and to the House Representative before it will enforce or publish. So diri na ta mag-base nga kung maghimo na gani tag laws, kinahanglan gyud nato buhaton in a process way. Kung kinahanglan pa siya og approval, so kinahanglan pa nato ipasa dito sa Senate, sa Senate, then ipakita sa President, and also ikuan pa siya sa House of the Representative. Kung ma-okay na siya tanan, wala na ikuan, pwede na siya i-publish, pwede na siya ikuan nga kaning act or kaning implementation, pwede na siya i-publish so that ma-aware na ang mga tao kung unsa ilang kailangan buhaton. Then when implementing an act, it should be more strict. So kinahanglan stricto sadta, so para sundon ang mga rules nga atong gibuhat. Kay kung di man gud ta mag-ini-stricto, nagyapon mga possibilities nga dili sila mosunod ani nga kani nga act sa ato mula pagyapon sila kay paminaw nila dili man stricto nga act, so okay ra magkuhan og. So next is problem with the act implementation in your locality. Limited capabilities of LGUs to perform monitoring system. Mining. So as of diri sa to mining, like sa akong nakuan kay kaning mining manggod, usa ni siya sa mga rason kung ngano daghan kayo og mga kuan possibilities nga mag-landslide or magguba nga to ang yuta, kay magbangag man na sila din kani mining mo ni siya ang pinakahadlok nga kuan kay kani mangod nga problem lisod di siya. So in our locality here, basi lang pud sa akong nakuha diplahan is nadiha ang like carbon. So usa gyapon na siya sa mga mining nga naa diri sa to mga problema nga na kuan diri sa ang kanang especially na sa diplahan mga charcoal, pag may pagkuha nila sa mga carbon, pagkuha nila sa mga carbon. Recommendations. I suggested that the LGUs should hire more people that can be assigned for the monitoring of all illegal operations. So, na lang jud nga atong mga LGU mag-assign sila. So, mag-assign sila mga tao nga mas focus lang siya sa mga mag-focus siya kung sa mga especially sa mga illegal operations ng mga illegal logging, illegal mining nga makakos og kaning kadaot sa atong environment. There should be a penalty for those who violates the rules or the act, and there should be a big penalty and raised to hundreds of thousands according to their violation. So para sa ako, kinahanglan gid siya nga muhata magkuan sila og kung kinsa man tong nag-violate sa kani nga act, kinahanglan gid sila nga muhatag sila mga penalty para mag-raise ta og penalty para mutuo sila og dili sila mukuan nga isi-isihon lang. Kay kung dili man uta mukuan og mga penalty nga sa ilang nabuhat nga naka-violate sila, ibaliwala lang nila. Okay ra ni ilang ibaliwala. So kinahanglan jud nato nga magkuanta aron aron mas mutuo gid sila.